What's going on, guys? My name is Zodiark, and in today's video, we're back on YouTube. How many times have I said that? It's the first time in 2 years, and today we're coming back at you covering Resident Evil 8 Village. The first trailer is uploaded on my channel. It literally dropped like an hour ago. I'm a massive Resident Evil fan, and I cannot wait to get into this video, breaking it down and giving you my thoughts and opinions on the next game in the Resident Evil franchise. I cannot wait, so without further ado, sit back with your drinking your popcorn and let's get into the video. Let's do it. In the background is the trailer for Resident Evil 8, and this is from what I gather, a direct follow-up from Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, which released back in January of 2017. Since then, obviously, we've had the Resident Evil 2 remake, which was, absolutely amazing. And the not-so-great Resident Evil 3 remake that was a little bit disappointing, but I still played it anyway. And like I said, this seems to be a direct follow-up. Now, when I was watching the event live, and I was watching it with a couple of people, in a chat, and I said, is this Resident Evil 8? And then later on in the trailer, it shows an umbrella symbol on the table, and it turned out it was Resident Evil 8. I thought it was Silent Hill at first, but it looks creepy. My first impression from the trailer is, it's creepy, it's dark, it's very, very macabre. It looks like it's going to be in first person again, which is good, and it's following in the footsteps of Resident Evil 7. Resident Evil as a franchise kind of fell in the dirt a little bit after Resident Evil 6, and, Resident Evil 7 brought it back, and they seem to be continuing in strong form, and that is a good thing. And honestly, I cannot wait to get my hands on this. But there is some things in the trailer we are going to think about, we are going to talk about, we are going to break down. So let's do that right now. So what you guys are going to see next is the text on screen that is spoken at the beginning of the trailer by a familiar voice that kind of sounds like Mia from Resident Evil 7. I'll roll that for you, and then we'll get down to breaking down the next part of the trailer. Enjoy.
Long ago, a young girl went with her mother to pick berries for her father, who was hard at work. But the forest greeted them with a dark, cold silence, the bushes empty. Yet determined to find the berries, the rascal broke free of Mother's grasp and vanished into the trees. Mother's worried cries faded fast as the girl ran on, over vine, under branch, and into the forest deep.
So, that clip there that you heard is obviously the recital of a little girl who went with her mother into the woods one day to pick berries for her father while he was hard at work. And the mother and the daughter stayed together until the daughter broke free and wanted to find the berries, and she ran over vine and under branch and into the woods deep. Now, given the next scene in the trailer, I believe this may be Mia reciting one of her past experiences. I believe Ethan and Mia, after the events of Resident Evil 7, may have come to settle down in the village where Mia grew up. Now, it would make sense for her parents to live in the village with the forest surrounding, hence why Mia and her mother would go and pick berries for her father for when he comes home from work, as he is hard at work, apparently, according to, I'm going to assume, Mia, when she was a little girl. The next scene is this, and it shows Mia, I assume Mia, again, sat in front of a fireplace, reading some kind of book. Now, Ethan refers to her being obsessed with this book, and Mia simply says, stop being so paranoid. Now, whether these events that happen in the game have something to do with Mia or not, we will find out when the game comes out. But the next bit of the trailer, which I'm going to roll for you now, is particularly interesting.
No! Friendly! Who are you? Who sent you? What's going on? They're coming. Who is?
Now, this part of the trailer is particularly interesting. So it involves Ethan entering a house and drawing back a curtain and almost getting shot in the chest by a guy with a shotgun. Very Resident Evil-like, I know. So this guy asks, who sent you, who are you, and Ethan's like, I'm friendly. But before Ethan can say anything else, this old guy puts a hand over his mouth, and then in the next scene, Ethan's got a gun, And this old guy's going on about they're coming, and in a very split scene, you may see like something like a werewolf or a werebeast or something like that go past the window, and then it cuts again. This old man gets dragged through the wall, and Ethan gets dragged up through the ceiling. Now, I believe if they're going to add werewolves, I'm going to say werewolves at this point, to Resident Evil, I feel like they got to do it right. You either do it right, or you don't do it right at all. Werewolves, I've never really seen in horror games before, but for Resident Evil, it could be a good addition. Along with some of the other stuff that's going to appear later on in the trailer, it could be a really good addition, but we're going to get to the next part of the trailer. In this part of the trailer, I believe we are just seeing part of what the village and the people could be like. This part of the trailer begins with a beautiful tracking shot to the village before showing a few of the residents. You see the guy with the shotgun, I believe it's the guy with the shotgun from before, going around the village, pointing his shotgun at people like a crazy old man and questioning them. He's clearly paranoid, and probably for good reason, knowing Resident Evil. And, we see some occultist stuff, we see some, occultist symbols on top of buildings, we see some really cool statues, some women in the village, and it reminds me a lot of Resident Evil 4, which is a good thing, because Resident Evil 4 is an amazing Resident Evil game, but it feels like it's going to be Resident Evil 4 with more horror, and that is never a bad thing. But it's a very interesting part. It's mainly just showing what the village will be like and what the people may be like. It shows some dead, rotten carcasses, which is Resident Evil all over. And then we see some more occultist stuff towards the end with the old lady with the hood up and, the occult and all the rest of it, which was leaked about this game. And I'm glad it's here, but the last part of the trailer is probably the most interesting part. And towards the end of that clip, I'll roll it now, you actually see the umbrella logo, which was what gave it away when I watched the trailer. So Umbrella do have some involvement in this, and it's going to be pretty interesting. So let's get into the next part of the trailer, guys.
Chris? Sorry, Ethan. Why?
So in the first half of the last half of the trailer, if that makes sense, we see what seems to be like, I don't know, it might be a coven of witches, which is quite possible knowing Resident Evil at this point, which I've said quite a lot in this video. We then see Ethan, I'm going to assume it's Ethan again, lay on his back outside, and we see the werewolf guy bouncing around, jumping off the roof, before seeing some guy at the end of the hallway, and the girl that I'm going to speak more in detail about in a minute because I have a theory about who it might be, as well as seeing that werebeast nice up and close. That guy, imagine him chasing you through the woods. Oh boy, now that would be scary. But I'm going to move over and theorise about who the girl and the guy with the funny hat and the goggles might be. Right, so we'll go with the girl first. Don't come at me for this. One of my friends mentioned this could be a possibility. But is this Claire Redfield? Claire Redfield. Could it be Claire Redfield? We never know. Her face shape is kind of similar. Obviously, this game takes place a couple of years after we last saw her in Revelations 2. So it kind of looks similar. It's a bit far-fetched. It would be Claire. What the hell is she doing there? That's a rhyme. In the middle of the woods, in the middle of nowhere. We don't know, but imagine if it was Claire. Imagine. And now we're going to move on to the guy with the goggles. This is another crazy theory, but is this guy Leon S. Kennedy? Could it be Leon S. Kennedy? We don't know. I mean, Resident Evil 8, this trailer completely surprised me. So if Claire and Leon were to be here and Leon's got a beard and a cape and fucking a big hat and goggles, I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't be surprised. But are these people Claire and Leon? Could they be Claire and Leon? Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll show you the last part of the trailer. We'll break it down.
Chris? Sorry, Ethan. Why?
Remember that leak from like 6 months ago that said that Chris was going to be the villain in Resident Evil 8? Yeah, about that. So obviously in this section we get to see the title of the game and the nice effects and everything, but then we cut to a scene with Chris. Chris has been remodeled from what he looked like in the end of Resident Evil 7, which I'll put on screen right now, compared to what he looks like in this clip. He looks very different, and I've got nothing against that. They said they were going to remodel him. I think he looked kind of silly in 7, but he's walking into the house and he's killing who I'm going to assume again is going to be Mia. He says, sorry Ethan, and then shoots her like six times in the head, and Ethan's like, why? And then the trailer ends. So it's going to be a mystery until they reveal more details in August. But Chris is killing people, which is never a good sign. Is Chris going to die, the bad guy? I don't know. We'll find out when they reveal more in August, or when the game comes out in 2021. So that is the breakdown of the trailer. I'll give you my final thoughts. And yeah, let's go do that. Even before I knew this trailer was Resident Evil, it had me on the edge of my seat. This trailer is magnificent. This trailer is one of the best constructed trailers I have ever seen in my gaming life. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Resident Evil fanboy, but it had me on the edge of my seat before I even knew it was one of my favourite gaming franchises. A lot of people are probably going to say, why the hell are they adding werewolves? Why the hell are they adding witches, the occult? But personally, I'm here for it, and I think you should be too. Resident Evil has always been a series that has adapted over time and adapted to change. They did it with 7, they made it first person, and 8 is sticking with that third person view. It's exverting expectations by making Chris the villain by the looks of things, and it's adding features that it wouldn't have dared to add 10 years ago. It's thinking outside the box, and I think it's brilliant. I think this game is going to be the highlight of when I get the PS5. I'll be buying this day of release. I'll be playing it for you guys on the channel. I cannot wait. I think it's going to be absolutely amazing. I just want to say it's great to be back on YouTube doing what I love, and I can't wait to interact with you guys more in the future. Obviously, this pandemic's been going on, and we're still in lockdown, and it's not getting any better, so I'm going to be trying to pump out videos as fast as I can for you guys on whatever the hell you guys want. Probably mainly Resident Evil, do a bit of streaming here and there. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys stay safe during this crazy time in the world. Stay safe, take care of yourselves, and chill out. Peace out.